Hello, 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 my loves. Okay, so we're gonna start off with a makeup spray, and I'm gonna use this to sort of prep, plump, and nourish my skin before we go in with the makeup. Then I'm gonna take my Pretty Vulgar eye primer as always, and I'm going to apply this to my eyebrows. And I like to do this because it helps to smudge proof my eyebrows, especially in the hot weather, and it also helps my pencil to deposit color much easily. You'll see later on in the video how easily my pencil begins to adhere to the brows. So then I'm going to take my clear brow gel, and this one's from Milani, and I'm going to run this through the brows, and I'm going to do this just to keep any hairs from flying away, and I'm also going to do this to kind of give me that feathery brow look that's really in right now. So while that's setting, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the skin, and for primer today, I'm going to take the Revlon Prime Plus Perfecting and Smoothing Primer. So I believe I used this in my previous video, and I am so in love with it. It's such a great primer, guys. Definitely check out the Revlon primers if you get a chance. I want to go pick up some more, but this one's been really great, especially again in the hot weather. I've been reaching for this a lot ever since I picked it up. So yes, it has like a lotion consistency. Once you blend it into the skin, it begins to kind of mattify and blur out the pores. You can see how instantly my skin looks flawless. I'm loving it. All right, so then I'm gonna go in with my Milani brow pencil. This is my holy grail pencil right now. I'm so in love with it. Cannot get enough of it, reach for it all the time. So yeah, I figured I would just keep this in the video. I normally like to do my brows before I begin to film, but you know, I mean, I feel like everyone knows how to fill in their brows now, but you know what? I don't want to assume, and if you have kind of a similar brow shape as mine, if you have very light brows, this is kind of the technique that I use, and it might help you. So I wanted to keep this in there for that. But basically, this is what I've always done. I just outline the bottom of my brow. I begin to fill in the middle of the brow, and then lastly, I will work my way to the top. So this helps me from kind of creating too much of a thick brow, you know? So it's a good in between. I don't like them too thin. I don't like them too thick. I kind of like a really good middle. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm just going to begin to do the same to the other eyebrow. And yeah, this is the same technique I use if I'm using a brow pomade. I always work from the bottom up and blend it out. Alright, so now I'm going to begin to clean up my eyebrows, and I'm using the NARS Soft Matte Concealer with the Morphe M410 brush. So if you guys watch my channel, you know that I'm so obsessed with my MAC 212 brush. I'm always raving about it, but I've been trying to kind of find a more affordable version because I know that MAC brushes can be a little pricey, and this one is working really well for me, so I really like it. I can definitely recommend it to you guys. So again, if you are looking for a brush to kind of give you those clean, crisp lines, this is the way to go. Again, it's the Morphe M410. So this is great for cleaning up your brows, cleaning up your lip colors. You guys will see me use it later on in the video, but yeah, I'm really loving this brush right now. I'm gonna go ahead and take my concealer and pop this on my eyelids. So I like to do this because I'm going to use it as an eyeshadow base. It's going to remove any discoloration on my eyelids, and it's really going to make my eyeshadows pop. So this is a must for me, especially if I'm doing up my eyes. I always like to lay down a base, and concealer just seems to work the best for me. I don't know, it never dries out, just so smooth. I love it. Now I'm going to go in with my eyeshadow palette today, and I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Horchata on a Morphe M504 brush. And I'm going to run this through the entire eyelid to kind of set that base and help us blend all our eyeshadows today. Alright, so then I'm going to go in with the shade Sombrero, and I'm going to pop that into my crease as my transition shade. I'm using the Morphe M504 brush. Then I'm going to take the shade Café, and I'm going to take that on a Morphe M433, and I'm just going to pop that on the outer V of the eye for a little bit of depth and definition. Then I'm going to go back in with that 504 and just blend those two shades together to get everything looking nice and smooth. Then I'm going to go back in with my concealer, and I'm going to take it on a Morphe M224 brush, and I'm going to begin to do a semi cut crease on the lid. And I'm just using little stamping motions, as you can see, working my way through the eyelid. And I'm not going to go all the way through, I just kind of leave it halfway, and then I go in with a little synthetic brush and kind of blend that concealer into my eyeshadow so that we don't have any sharp edges. So then I'm going to take Tequila from the palette, which is just a really pretty champagne-y lid shade, and I'm just going to pop that right over that concealer. Then I'm going to take that Morphe M433 brush with a little bit more of Cafe and just redeposit the color on the outer V. I'm using patting motions so that way I don't mess up the cut crease that we created. Alright, so then I'm going to go in with my Holy Grail gel eyeliner. I love this so much. It's my absolute favorite. I've tried so many high-end gel liners, and this is still my favorite to this day. So yeah, I'm just taking that on this little art brush. You can find this at Michael's in the little paintbrush section. This one has a super small tip to it, so I absolutely love it for creating my winged liner. Then I'm going to take my Holy Grail liquid liner. I believe I've talked about this before as well, but I love it. I like to use it to go over my wing just to make it super intense and black. Usually if it's not super hot out, I can just go in with this liner on itself, but I like to pop it on top of my gel just to make sure it does not budge at all throughout the day. And then I'm going to take my little makeup wipe, and I'm just going to clean up my wings to give me that super precise finish. So then I'm going to take new lashes. These are Beauty Creations Hush Hush. I'm usually always using the expensive ones, but I figured let me try a new style. Wanted something a little more dramatic for this look. And yeah, they're so gorgeous. Beauty Creations, again, just does not fail. These are faux mink lashes, but they look so gorgeous. They look just as good as regular mink lashes, so super affordable as well. Look how gorgeous they are. I'm just like obsessed. Alright, so now that we got the eyes out of the way, we're going to move in to the skin. For foundation today, I'm going to be going in with the Skin Milk Foundation from COVERGIRL. So this is fairly new, and I've been using it a lot lately as well. It's so beautiful, it's so lightweight. It really does feel like there's milk on your skin. It just makes your skin look so plump and juicy and hydrated, and pairing it with this Revlon primer really does help it last all day on me. Even though I am a full coverage lover, in the summertime I do tend to use more lightweight foundations because I can just not stand the feel of anything heavy on my skin, you know? So like if I'm in the house or I'm filming a video, it's a little different, but as far as going out, I was gonna run errands this day and I just wanted something super lightweight. So if you pair a foundation like this with like a full coverage concealer, you'll get the coverage where you need it without feeling super heavy all over. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna go ahead and pop my concealer where I normally do, and then I'll take a beauty sponge to kind of blend all that out. That's gonna give me a super flawless finish. So yeah, if you're on the hunt for a new lightweight foundation to use this summer, definitely try out the COVERGIRL Skin Milk. I've really been loving it. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and cream contour. I'm going to use my Juvias Place Stick Foundation. This one is in the shade Jacmel, and it's the perfect color for me. I do have a little bit of a tan as well, so it's been working excellent, and I've been reaching for it so much anytime I'm doing my makeup. Even with like a lightweight BB cream, I tend to do more of a cream contour rather than bronzing powder. Again, I like to use liquids and creams on my skin just to make everything feel super lightweight and airy, especially in the heat. But yeah, I love this so much. It blends out like a dream, like butter. So easy. So if you are a beginner with cream contouring, definitely try out this stick foundation. I actually want to try this in my own foundation shade because it's just too beautiful. So now I'm going to go ahead and pick up my DERMABLEND translucent powder, and I'm going to use my little e.l.f. beauty sponge, and I'm just going to go ahead and lightly bake under the eyes. I mean lightly, but you know, heavily. And then I'm going to take my Morphe E47 brush and that same powder, and I'm just going to go ahead, clean up my contour. So I have more of like a rounded face. You guys have seen me do this a million times, but yeah, I love to do this. It just gives me like the illusion of a higher cheekbone and just really helps give me that nice sculpted effect. Taking a little fluffy tapered brush, I'm just going to go ahead and dust off any excess powder so that we don't look super dry or cakey. And then I'm going to pick up a new bronzing palette that I got in my BoxyCharm, and I'm so in love with it. It's so warm toned and pretty. And I'm just going to go ahead and pop this where my cream contour was. So because I laid down that translucent powder, it's going to help this bronzing palette really blend super seamlessly. So this is why I like to go in the order that I do. You always want to lay down your creams and your liquids before you work with your powders. So now I'm going to take my favorite blush palette at the moment. I talked about this in my previous video, and these shades are so beautiful, guys. They're so pigmented. They blend so beautifully. I'm just mixing those two colors that I showed you in the front, and I'm just going to pop that on the apples, but look at that pigmentation. It's so gorgeous. So because we have kind of like these cool tones going on the eyes, and we will have like a cool tone lip going on, I feel like this really pretty vibrant peachy shade just kind of gives it that perfect contrast and just really makes the look so summery and cool. So now we're going to jump back into the eyes and kind of finish them up. I'm just going to pick up my Morphe M433 brush again, and I'm going to pick up that shade Sombrero, which is that really pretty transition shade, and just kind of pop that on the lower lash line to even out the eyes and kind of balance them out. Now I'm taking the False Lash Mascara from Essence. Such an amazing mascara. I'm just going to go ahead and pop this on the lower and upper lashes. And then I'm going to pick up this Laura Mercier highlighter. I haven't used this in years, guys, but I saw it in my collection. I was like, oh my god, this is perfect. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop it on the apples of my face and my nose. I'm also going to go ahead and pop it on the inner corner of the eye to kind of give it a little bit of a pop. Then I'm going to go back in with that NYX setting mist, and I'm just going to go ahead and spritz the skin to kind of blend all the powders together and give us that nice dewy luminous finish. And now we're going to go in with our lip color. So the lip is really kind of the star of the show. It's really going to bring these cool tones together. I'm going in with Stone lip liner, which is such a classic for me. There's nothing really on the market like it. It's just a really cool grayish kind of lip color, so definitely something to have in your collection. And then I'm going to go in with the CoverGirl liquid lip, and this one is in the shade Latte. It reminds me a lot of Sand from Dose of Colors, which is one of my favorite nude colors of all time. And then I felt like the lip needed a little more definition. I am a little more tan right now, so I had to go in with my KKW Nude 2 lip liner. So this one isn't as gray as Stone. It has a little bit more of like a cool tone brown to it, and it really helped the lip come together. So here I'm just going back in with that defining brush, and I'm just going to clean up the outer corners of my lip. When I do this, I don't clean up the entire lip like the Cupid's bow and all that. I just make sure that the outer corners are nice and defined so that my lip kind of looks even on both ends and just super clean, precise, and sharp. It really does make a difference. If you feel like you cannot get your lips to look absolutely perfect like you see in pictures, this is the way to go. Just make sure to blend it really well. I just go in with like a little synthetic brush and diffuse it, make sure it's blending in with my foundation nicely, and you're good to go. So I was able to find the lip kit from the e.l.f. Retro Paradise collection, so I went ahead and popped on the lip gloss from that kit. So beautiful, so reflective. It's in the shade A Moment, which this kind of is. So yeah, this will pretty much complete the look. I was not expecting to love it as much as I did. I kind of never really know how these things will come out, just kind of happens. But yeah, make sure to like and leave a comment below. Make sure to subscribe. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.